focus on the well-being of people. What do you think?
He's tired, right?
Yeah, we is the concept and then it's reasonable.
Takai-san, sorry to interrupt you, but
can't hear you.
we cannot hear you. Is your
Okay. Can you hear me?
this is better?
Okay. So I do agree the concept. I do agree the approach that she wants to apply. Maybe reasonable, but actually, as Kimoto-san pointed, the point is, okay, the situation is like the one issue will become holding the other issues.
No, so you're wondering whether it's practically applicable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think
So where to start and who to start and to whom to start?
okay. So if I may answer that, the way I see it, the only way to start this is me. Not me at Kuiters, but every individual for himself, for herself, to become aware of the fact that we live in a broken system and that our consumer behavior, our voting behavior, the way that we are going through life making decisions is depending on these broken ideas, is based on these broken ideas. And this awareness will make you think twice about throwing away plastic cups, buying t-shirts at $2 a piece, because you know that price comes from somewhere. So the only way that this is going to work, I think that the single answer to that is me, every single individual, every consumer, every voter. That's where it starts.
So anything related to distribution and diffusion have to be changed then.
Right.
There's obvious there is the power distribution in a disproportional way. That's done by those who has the power to make something
Right.
happen for them based on the capitalism.
Right.
The information and the distribution and how information will be diffused on the diffusion. How the way of things happening should be changed.
Right. I think so too. But you cannot expect companies to really take this seriously unless it makes economic sense to them. Unless they think, well, if we don't do it, then customers might turn their backs on us, and they will stop buying our products. If the customer finds out, or then basically that will kill us. The same thing. Okay, Trump can get away by getting out of the CO2 agreement because people in the United States at the moment, frankly, they don't care. They're pissed off. They don't care about anybody else. They become super hyper selfish, and America first is something that sold him that gave him the presidency. But at the same time, we can see that in Germany, the government decides that within 15 years' time, no longer fossil fuel cars can be sold. Comes at a cost, but the only way the government can do that is that they know that there is support for it. The voters in Germany are in favor of this measure. That's why they can push it through, because it will come at a monetary cost, but it will be better for the future, for the world as a whole, that we use less fossil fuels. So it really starts everything. I think everything really starts with us.
Yeah, and also it have to be driven by economic benefits.
Right.
Yeah,
But
basically, for me, it's not difficult to believe that the other persons believe what I believe. this is, yeah, maybe it's likely in Japanese society where, as mentioned before, the solidarity in the society is getting less and less. So I am the person who cannot believe the other person can believe what I believe if something something new
Right.
have to be believed by person, people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if even if I will do this, but I'm not sure other person will also do this.
Right.
Then
Right.
it's,
And that is okay. And I understand what you're saying, but I don't care. And I think a lot of people ultimately will not care because basically, why do you do certain things? Why do you give money to a charity? Is that's only because it makes you feel good, right? Why would you buy a fair trade coffee, a fair trade T-shirt? Why would you do it? Not because it's a better shirt, probably, but probably because it makes me feel good. That I know that I bought a shirt and then that the people who made it, that they got a fair wage and that no child labor was used, and hopefully it will contribute to a better world. That's why I do it. But I only do it because it makes me feel better. And if it has a brand fair trade on it, it's even better. So I can show off to my friends that I'm a socially responsible person. So I think the moment it turns cool to do something good, it will work like an oil, like oil on water. It will start to spread. It's just like alcohol, you know. Nowadays, young people, they almost do not drink alcohol anymore, much less than before. And why is that? Because it's no longer cool to drink alcohol. Now, in my time, alcohol drinking was very cool, and I drank a lot, and I'm grateful that it was. But nowadays, it's not cool anymore. So basically, not drinking alcohol is seen as cool. When I was young, it was you were very uncool if you didn't drink alcohol. So
I don't know how it is for other persons. The feeling not cool. Then what I think is I want to do more. I want to do something the bigger. I want to do something more. So otherwise I cannot feel I'm doing something good for the society.
right, but yeah, everybody has his own opportunity. Some people they can do something by making different consumption decisions. Other people can do something by creating a company that makes the most sexy electric car that was ever made, and thereby creating a revolution. Everybody can only do whatever they can do. If other people they can create legislation that will enable changes. It's I think, yeah, it's basically whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to contribute, whatever makes you feel good. But I really believe that we need to step away from the idea that the world is only driven by economy, which is only the sum of all the transactions that's going back and forth. That completely ignores a lot of very important things, like the environment, the inequality, the human rights, inclusion of women in labor. All these things, they are just as much things that you want to strive for as making more money. And nowadays there's no balance, right? Because it's not in the books. Therefore, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you pollute. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. I hope it's gonna change the situation. That
Me too.
each is working for each other to make more money.
Right. And I think actually, to end on a high note, I think Japan is ready for it. I think a lot of people in Japan are looking for purpose, are looking for something to do, to make a positive influence, because I feel this in this society a lot of people are just contributing, not to ask questions, but just put in effort. But how to make a difference, how to make a stance, how to make something that is worthwhile, not only for yourself but for others. I think that the Japanese society could be a leader in this idea of the donut economy and the regenerative economy, because I feel that people have the money to change their consumption behavior, and they have the inclination to actually do so. In that respect, I agree with Unno-san that Japanese people are very good people fundamentally, and they can make a change.
Yeah, in order to be like that, we need to be educated. So we need education. Then we need maybe next generation to start.
We need a story.
Well, we can start from
Right. We need the story. we need a new like donut economy story that will inspire people to actually make a change. All right. That concludes today's session. Thank you very much, Takai-san, for joining from Vietnam, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much
Thank you.
here in Tokyo, and I'm gonna close the video.